Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Block 9 Podcast Live Lounge.
Oh, well, evening, folks. Let me, for some reason, I can't see. Can you gents see the chat overlay? Yeah?
No.
I can see the thing on the right, but it's not. There's no chat going through yet.
That's fine. People just aren't obviously posting any comments yet. But evening, folks. Welcome to the Block 9 Podcast on this Thursday evening. So, look, after getting our first win against Blackpool, Argyle headed up the M5 for that first of two games this week on over the border, I should say, in Wales. Well, there was no swan song in the Carabao Cup, though, for Argyle in that second round after Wyadu's late first half equaliser to draw the sides level. It went to a penalty shootout, and, well, of course, it had to be, didn't it? Matty Sorinola, former Swans player, stepped up and his penalty was saved. And then after Swansea completed their set, they are then through to the next round. It was a shame for Matty because he put in probably one of his best performances so far this season. And it just had to be, didn't it, that it was him whose penalty was saved. But people will say, well, we can focus on the league and that's more important. Well, this coming Tuesday, next week, we also have the Virtual Cup first round. So, yeah.
Virtual or Virtu?
Virtual, Virtu. Thank you. Virtue, mon ami. So anyway, evening, gents. Gavin, how we doing?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, so a bit of let me bring you up on the big screen. There we go. Graham, evening. Saying evening to you, Sophie. She's got a Argyle kit on. The first comment in tonight. Thank you for that, Graham. So Gavin, you've been busy as always. I suppose taking your eyes off your balance sheets for your clients to now focus on tonight's show.
Yeah, it's nice to sit in this chair for another couple of hours because it's not been long enough today. It's been a good week, hasn't it? I haven't really seen much of the press conference or anything yet. I've just seen the snippets online. Look at them later. It's been a positive week. Maybe that's why no one's commenting and complaining.
Even Steve's just popped in. Yeah, they're all like, oh, I'm just done now. These back-to-back Saturday and Tuesday games. It's too much. So let me just bring Andy in quickly to say a quick hello. So how are we doing, Andy?
Did all right, guys. Yeah, didn't get to see the match on Tuesday, but I did listen to it. It sounded really good. Some of the Argyle were in control. But yeah, I'm doing all right. Been a busy week, but otherwise I'm fine.
Yeah, I must admit, let me just put us to the group shot. It's easier, isn't it? There's only three of us tonight. We sacked everybody else off, just not good enough. Carl is back to his shifts, which is he's had 2 weeks off because of his dodgy thumb. Yeah, exactly. And a couple of the others can't make it, or Emma might jump in if she can after work. So you have to make do. Well, four of us, because obviously not forgetting Sophie's sat there. So I think, let me just go back to my notes a second. It's these. I enjoy these weeks on one hand, especially as the tides turned a little bit, and even though we didn't win on Tuesday night, it was all round. I mean, I watched bits of it. I must admit, if I'm honest, I'm back to work this week, as most of you might know, and I was shattered, and I did snooze in between spells while trying to put Sophie to sleep down in the room. But it was a good performance, Gavin, wasn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Out of possession, we were class. I think, as TC alluded to in the post-match press conference, we created some big chances. We put one of them away. We wasted a couple of others. But for a side that contains a skipper that's not played for 5 weeks, having a pretty much makeshift back four with Matty Saranola playing left back, even though he's all pretty much right-footed, having two teenagers on each wing, and our sort of second/third choice striker, I thought playing against a quite experienced Swansea side, we matched them and probably outplayed them actually for a large part of the game, and probably deserved to go through in normal time without getting the pens. As much as that didn't happen. But I think certainly that performance and that squad ethic, and certainly the off the ball work and the way we defended and held our shape and were really resolute off the ball, I think we can take that into Saturday and hopefully standing in that corner at the Cardiff City Stadium, I won't be watching 5 goals in quick succession like we were last year, getting to the pub early. So,
yeah, no, it certainly won't be an easy one, but I think, yeah, you're right. There was, besides Vipotnik's, thumping strike, there wasn't, respectfully, too much from Swansea at that point, was there? And but Andy, I mean, I know you listened to it on the radio, but we were ruining missed chances again, weren't we? And I think, we talked about on Saturday night post Blackpool, that really strong chance from Barley Mumba, and obviously the deflection, and then Talai not able to, sort of get the rebound. But there was bits of that again, wasn't there, on Tuesday night? And this is the worry. Although, yes, it was great to get the 3 points, but if we're not careful and we don't put away these chances when they come to us, it could cost us. And certainly at Cardiff, which Gavin will allude to further in a minute why. But we've got to do that, Andy, haven't we?
Yeah, you've got to be more ruthless in front of goal. I mean, Peppel was guilty of that. Should have really taken off Peppel instead of Hosseini, in my eyes. I think Hosseini puts that away. But Peppel, I don't know whether it's a confidence thing or not, whether he just, had a rush of blood and took the shot early. Don't know. But yeah, we need to be more ruthless in front of goal. And I think that Turlai will bring that on Saturday. He'll bring that sort of sharpness up front, the threat there, like he did on Saturday.
Yeah, it's sort of, I'm trying to remember bits of the game because I was honestly, folks, I was just that tired. And when you're trying to put your daughter down and the room's dark and you got this screen blaring at you on your iPad, it was just like trying to stay awake. But no, I think there was some good performances. Brendan Wyadu was really impressive, cleverly alluded to that as well. Matty Sorinola, as we mentioned there as well. So, yeah, look, I think they're good signs that the confidence is there, and they're definitely, building that back up, even with the goal going in to get that, and it was a brilliant, free kick from Matty Sorinola for Wyadu to not easy pick that ball away as well. So that was good to see, Gavin, wasn't it?
Great finish at the back post. Really tenacious, got in front of his man, used his upper body strength to see him off, and then planted it in the corner. But I think Sorinola needs to probably, although I haven't picked him in my team for Saturday because I don't think TC will, but I think the quality of his crossing in particular on Tuesday night was some of the best we've seen, not just this season, but this season and last. There was whip, it was good direction, the quality of every ball he seemed to put in the box gave us an opportunity. I think with Talai on the field as well, and there was a Peppel first half header which actually came in from the right. I think it was a Finn cross, but we seem to be hitting our target man in the box now with some far better crosses than we have for some time. And Sorinola and Finn were probably the best two components of that on the evening. So yeah, look, it's a much improved performance from 3 or 4 weeks ago. Off the ball, we're much more organised, we're much more resolute. With the ball, we seem to be transitioning faster, and the quality of the crossing that's coming in from both sides is vastly improved. So, with a perceived stronger 11, to use inverted commas, we should up that again. But the competition for squad play, starting places now in that squad, is getting better and better and better, which is only going to improve the performance, because you can't have an off day now, because if you are, you're going to be out trained on the preceding days, the next game, and you're going to find yourself out the squad or certainly on the bench. So for me, that's the biggest plus so far, is that I think players up to this point the last week have known if they have a bad game, especially in the key areas, wingers, centre halves, if they have a bad game, it doesn't matter, they're in the next week anyway. Now there's a real upturn in performance on the squad in general. The patterns of play, as I say, seem to be better. It seems to be clicking, and everybody now is going to be working their socks off to try and keep their shirt, which is no bad place to be.
No, totally agree. I think that's where you naturally just see that uplift, don't you, in performances when there's competition for places. So yeah, let's just hope we can. It's not going to be easy. We'll come on to it a bit more still. There was positives, but there was still a lot of sort of concerns and notables after that game on Saturday. But I'm just going to switch to the slide deck because I've sort of jumped a little bit ahead of myself. I normally do the news, which I'll come to in a second. But just to read out a few of the comments, GT's just dropped in. Evening. He says, hi, Stephen Cooper. Evening, guys. Kids back to school next week. So if he's just disappeared out of the room. I think we've still got another week on ours. It's all just so different in different areas, isn't it? Also, Stephen, I do have now the graphic printed that I need. They arrived today. I do need you to drop me an email though, so I can sort out a bit of a direct convo with you on those two polos. So drop us an email, block9podcast@gmail.com. So I can make sure we sort that out. But yeah, and Ben Collins is in again tonight. Evening, Ben, the holder of the biggest collection of Block 9 mugs still. Dave Mortimer's in. Good to see you in, Dave. Brad's second team is Man United. Steve Vaughan also saying Freddie's chance at the end should have done better as well. And we also just have dropped in CDPAFC, well, certainly in the comments. Mitchell, Waidu, and Ross as a back three would be on fire. Yeah, I must admit, looking forward to seeing Ross. So let me just dive in as I do to the latest news or the news from this past week on Plymouth Argyle effectively. Latest one was Galloway's international call up. Brendan Galloway has been called up to the Zimbabwe squad for their up and coming FIFA World Cup qualifiers against Benin and Rwanda. Also, Tom Cleverley, we've got a bit of a breakdown of the press conference in a second. He confirmed that the Morel trial that we had, Joe Morel, has concluded, and they will not be looking to take that further. And also, ex-Pilgrim, of course, Finn Azaz has got a potential £15 million move to Southampton. Not surprised, really. Such a great player. I know, folks, it's what it could have been with him, but it didn't happen. But yeah, it's great to see such a brilliant footballer and person himself going on and moving on there. And Joe Edwards, as sort of Gavin alluded to, was back in action, obviously, in that Carabao Cup match for the full 90 minutes. And as he said himself, it was great to be back in action. And one of the two, well, this was a rumour, really. The next thing was news, but the big rumour of the week, and yes, husbands, and dads, you don't need to lock away your wives, your daughters, or your grandmothers, because Tom Cleverley has said that there is no interest in any more defenders for Argyle. So the rumours about Dan Scarr and would we want to bring him into the squad? There was a lot of Andy sort of fors and against. I did the tweet asking for people's thoughts on the Block 9 account. Me personally, I just think no, brilliant, and obviously love what he did. But with Cleverley wanting to build a younger squad in general, and with Mitchell coming in and Ross coming in, there was just no need, was there? But it got everybody excited.
It did, yeah. I think we saw the best of Dan Scarr when we won the championship at Port Vale. That whole season he was a rock in defence, and he would head anything out, and rightly so. And he got his plaudits there, So yeah, I don't think now is the time to bring him back. Certainly, when his legs are probably going now. He must be about my age now.
He's 30.
Yeah, I say he must be about my
your age. Yeah.
So I don't think that would have been a good move given the young talent we've got at the back at the moment, with Mitchell.
Yeah,
he's off to Rotherham, I think. Looking at what I saw earlier on Twitter,
I did see that on X just now. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, look, he's enjoyed some great success, hasn't he, with promotions? Fair play to him. But yeah, I think breathe a sigh of relief, gents. Those of you out there, and the ladies, of course, are very disappointed. Paramedic Emma was very excited to in the WhatsApp group to see that news. But of course, the biggest news that we were all waiting to hear and find out about, and as I just do this, if it works. Yes, Tegan Finn has signed his professional contract with the club. We were all wondering what was going on, and it'd all gone quiet after all the hype that Rudy had given him when he joined. And obviously, cleverly also speaking highly of the young Tegan Finn. He's got his 3-year professional contract with us. His boyhood club, where he's been at since he was 6 years old. A really, really brilliant prospect, and excited to see more of him. Obviously, he was involved on Tuesday night. Didn't have the best of starts, which is typical in that situation, isn't it? But 16 years old, 3-year professional contract, Gavin. I mean, and again, a bit of a sigh of relief, but it's great to have him signed up, isn't it, and on board.
He's got a big future, the lad, hasn't he? If nothing else, we'll get 12 months out of him. He'll have 2 years left on his contract, and we'll make some money, rather than waiting for some panel somewhere to say, yeah, you can have 50 grand a year. He was in the academy and get 300k or whatever it's going to be for him. So, A, that's great. B, short term, I do believe that we have got a gem. I think he'll start Saturday. I think Amichi's probably 50-50, and if anything, Amichi will be on the bench. He probably deserves that. I thought he played really well on Tuesday night. I loved his Argyle Life or Argyle TV interview. I thought that was fantastic. Sorry, I'm Argyle Life. I just see the comment from Sam down. So not Argyle Life. So, unless Sam's had him on yet, and we don't know anything about it, in which case, good luck to you guys. But I loved his Argyle TV interview. You could tell he was a bit nervous, but I love the cheekiness. So I'm here to entertain. I'm here to take on the crowd. I want the crowd on the edge of their seat when I get the ball. He's done that in spades so far. I still thank him personally for making a small part of my Boxing Day of last year a bit more palatable rather. I stood in the very back row of Cardiff, so I had to have a Sherpa to get halfway up because it was about 9,000 steps. It was like the Sistine Chapel. And then to watch us go 4-0 down was horrific. He was brought on, I think, at half time, and he wrapped the crossbar from about 30 yards, cutting back inside on his left foot. Yeah. For our goal, and was the only highlight of a very sad Boxing Day when I was on my own as well. I dropped the kids up to Leicestershire and thought I'll pop in on the way home. It was the worst mistake I'd ever made. So I think it's a great signing for him. I think Tom will look after him. Clearly, Mr. Rooney's been in his ear before he got here as well. Over that beer they had in that wine bar in Manchester, that must have gone well. And he's going to be an absolute delight to watch him get better and better over the next potentially 3 years, but I can't see him being with us for that long, if I'll be honest. I think he'll be whipped away by a big boy. But at least we'll get decent compensation in this instance. And I look forward to seeing him on Saturday with no fear at Cardiff City Stadium, bang on him from 30 yards and do one better than when he was at the Ricoh Arena.
Yeah, no, definitely. And but just before I come to you, Andy, Sam, with his question, does your concourse have a range of food options? Asking for myself. Well, I suppose you've been to Cardiff before, Sam. I mean, is the food as good as Taunton Services? But and look, I mean, you have to spend hours in that van with Jason driving you up and back with Pieface and everybody. I have to sit next to him at every home game as well. So always a good laugh. So Jason drives the banana bus that Sam goes on to with Pieface and a few others. And that's some miles that Jason does. And as he told me last home game before last, because I was with Gavin at Blackpool, he said, I've just got to get them up there safely and get them home safely. What they do in between is all down to them.
Eating trifle as it goes.
Say again, Andy?
Eating trifle as it goes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's always these. It should be like a proper food review, shouldn't it? Chicken bites, I think Jason had on
the banana bus food review. That'll be entertaining.
So, but yeah, Andy, it's a good news one, and actually, it's brilliant for Tegan and his family, and also really good from the club as well to get that over the line. I know people have said, "Oh, I bet you there's sort of easy, release clauses and stuff like that in there." Regardless of it, he's grown up with the club. He's got his professional contract, and absolutely, like Gavin said, there's no reason he shouldn't go on and do bigger things, but hopefully bag a few important goals for Argyle along the way.
Yeah, I mean, what a story! You know, you joined the club at 5 years old, and then all of a sudden you're playing in front of 59,000 people. It's great for the lad. You know, it's great for the youngsters that Cleverly seems to have this desire to want to blood the youngsters, get them in there. Roberts, you know, Tegan Finn and Joe Hatch as well. And there's probably going to be more coming through.
Freddie, yeah.
Freddie Asaka, yeah. I mean, Freddie Asaka is another one of that. We hardly touched on him. But yeah, having those 4 players there chomping at the bit to get there and do something for Argyle for their boyhood clubs, it's got to be sort of a positive for the future, isn't it?
Yeah, and just if you did see in the background there, Ben just popped in my son to do a little dance behind it. Like Stephen said, they're back to school soon. I think it was, I'm just going to check the comments when you mentioned Izaka. Yeah, CDPFC, or there is second one down. So will Izaka's game time drop in favour of Finn? I think this is obviously, you know, Cleverly's pointed out the fact that we're, you know, looking for this a midfielder still and stuff. And I think as we're getting close to that window closing, then we will start to see, you know, some adjustments in who goes out on loan. I think there's obviously reasons why you wouldn't do. I know people have asked this. We've discussed it on as to why some of the players like Roberts and Izaka haven't gone out on loan, even Hatch, but or even Zach Baker. But you're not gonna really sort of decide on these things until you're settled with your you know, transfer market activity. So no doubt we will see some activity there soon. But then we'll get in minutes.
Go on. I have to say, Freddie looked really sharp when he came on Tuesday night. I know he's you know, Welsh parentage and he plays for Wales and probably playing against Swansea at the Liberty or Swansea Stadium or whatever it's called these days. I'm used to seeing an oval shaped ball there when I go there, but playing against a club like that is probably a little bit of biting for him. But I thought he looked really sharp and really competitive when he came on Tuesday night, which is a good thing because we need depth over there if Amici's down, and if you've got 3 guys who can play on that right wing and Freddie can play left as well, there's nothing wrong with that. If he doesn't go out, I can see him getting a real battle for game time with Bally and Amici and Finn. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Right, just moving to the next slide. So yeah, that was just, I mean, you don't want to see that, but there you go, Matty Sorinola, the only red marker on the penalty shootout, but I'm going to obviously show you that because I just did. So player ratings from the game. I'll just quickly spin through these so we can get on to the other bits and pieces. But yeah, Ashby Hammond had a good game. Overall scoring 7.2 on FOTMob. It was one of those where he went to the same side for the first 4 penalties, decided to change his side on the 5th one, and then the player put it to the side that he was going at for all the others. Just typical. It is a shame to not get through because it is good for all of these players to get run-outs. But yeah, in the back for Edwards, like I said, full 90 minutes, which is great to see and have him back, scoring a 7.3, if my eyes aren't deceive me. Mitchell with a 7, Waidu with a 7.9, and really, really good game for him as well. It's great to watch, let alone the goal. And I'm trying to see, is that 8 point something for Sorinola? It's too small for me now. I picked too much on this. It's 8 point what, sorry?
8.8.
Yeah, thank you. Too many images on one slide deck, but no surprise there for Sorinola. Robert 6.9, Ibrahim 7.1. Did he get a yellow card? He did, didn't he?
No.
Oh, he didn't.
No.
Right. Okay.
It's heartless.
I must have been dreaming when I was snoozing.
It was the only thing I had a little bet on, and it didn't come in. I was most disappointed with his absolute lack of recklessness. What's he doing?
Probably a few lost a few quid. I don't think Voodoo will be drinking from those that fine wine menu this week after probably losing some money on that. And obviously Finn 6.1, Aseni 6.4 is that, and then Hatch 6.4 and 6.8 for Pepple. So just to read that through, possession-wise, 66% in favour to Swansea with 15 shots in total, 3 on target for them versus Argyle's 14 and 4. Like we did allude to though just earlier, there were missed chances for Argyle in that game where we should have gone on to win it. So we got to really pick that up. Jack Smith just in the chats, every penalty Facey dived the wrong way for all of them. Yeah, and like I just said, Jack, he changed his direction on the final one, and the player decided to put it the other way as well. So
lottery, really, isn't it? Penalties.
I hope he didn't do Euro Millions on Tuesday night. He wouldn't have got one number, would he? Bless him. But it's a lot. It is a 50-50 in at the penalties. So
yeah, exactly.
Not going to hold that against him. I thought he was very good at commanding his box, and the work he had to do was very effective and tidy. And his distribution, by the way, was utter class. Yeah. 4 or 5 really good long balls to feet. 2 to Sorinola, 2 to Tegan Finn were probably 60-65 meters, and they were right at his feet. So if he can rub that off a bit of onto Mr. Hazard, that'd be fantastic, I have to say, because I'd like him to be able to have that same accuracy. But yeah, his distribution was very, very good.
Yeah, I think, again, it just, like I said on Saturday night, you got a stronger back line now. That's going to give confidence to the keeper as well as vice versa. So, hopefully Cardiff is going to be a big test, that's for sure. So on to the press conference today, just taking some of the thoughts from Tom Cleverley first. So positive performance trend. Cleverley praised the team's excellent out of possession discipline and felt that they did more than enough to win, as we just alluded to that. So highlighting 2 good performances on the trot. So player updates and fitnesses. Brendan Galloway is a warrior, as he put it, and looks fit, while Brendan Wydu was outstanding at centre-back against Swansea. Matthias Ross is back in training, but Saturday may come a little too soon. Cheltenham was the original game that Tom noted he would likely start in on Tuesday night. Cornell Sukes is ready for Saturday. Amiechi fitness is being monitored with a late call expected, and Jamie Patterson is anticipated to return on Tuesday as well. So looking forward to seeing Pato back in. On the opponents, Cardiff acknowledged Cardiff are a good side with continuity due to retaining a lot of key players. He also noted confidence from Laurent Tulai's previous performance against them for Port Vale. So let's hope he can do the same again this Saturday. And he further added the appreciation for the fan support. So he expressed gratitude for the incredible support from the fans, noting the privilege of working for such a well-supported football club. So that was Tom's thoughts, and also Laurent Tulai's was the player that was being interviewed. Easy decision. When his agent called and said Argyle wanted him, I was happy straight away. For me, it was an easy decision. This is a big club with good fans. I did put in the Tales episode that I released on Monday that he was always Tom Cleverley's number 1 target. We'll never know, will we? But it's good.
He's been watching Ryan Lowe's press conference as well to say when Argyle come knocking, you can't say no. He'll say that next when he goes to Middlesbrough. When Middlesbrough come knocking, you can't say no.
So matching Cardiff, he said he played against them when he was at Port Vale. I enjoyed the game. We were confident going into that game. They have good players, a good team with the ball, but I think we can match them. There we go. Yeah, fighting talk. Confidence from recent form. We started well on Saturday against Blackpool, he said, but that was which was good for our confidence. If we can play on Saturday like the last 2 games, then I think we'll do well. Embracing the pressure and the number 9 shirt. You can feel the pressure at Home Park, but I enjoy it. It means a lot to have the number 9 too. Hopefully, I can show everyone that I'm able to score goals and help win games. So, yeah, Andy, just let's see. Once we get a few more games in and he gets settled into it, he was dropped straight in, obviously, against Blackpool. Then we can start to see what he can bring. I was critical on Saturday night that he was struggling to outmuscle that defender to win the balls in the air. But we'll see as he settles in, I suppose.
Yeah, he looked great on Saturday. I mean, that he was misfortunate that the ball came to him on his wrong foot for that real goal. But then he caused all sorts of problems at the other end as well, creating that chance for the second goal that never stood. But yeah, he looks quality as he plays. He's got a little bit of flair about him, skill. It's not quite in the Ryan Hardy realm of finishing, but he knows where the back of the net is, and he's already done so for Port Vale this season, hasn't he?
Yeah, and PAFC Green Army Evening is saying Bamford and Tulai up front. Let's see.
Bamford's just been released, isn't he, by Leeds?
Yeah, as in right, okay, yeah, because he's injury prone again. So I mean, why wouldn't we sign him?
I'd like to. I don't know if Joe Bell's listening, but another Argyle lifer. But we need to ask Joe's opinion. I'll text him in a bit about the possibility of Bamford coming in. He always has strong opinions about him.
Brilliant. And Benny is in again. Evening, Benny. Sorano to start at left back and push Benarus to centre attacking midfield or right wing. It's potential for that. So on to what are we in now? 30 minutes in. So on to then the game on Saturday. So can we come away from Wales with some points? So just start off on the details and I'll hand over to Gavin. But yeah, obviously this Saturday at the Cardiff City Stadium, the Swansea one is now called the Swansea.com Stadium. Gav, just as a point from earlier, it will be on Sky Sports Plus or Argyle TV on your overseas accounts only or those VPNs. And of course, as Vunu always says to me, what's a VPN? So match officials for this game, the referee will be Scott Oldham, assisted by Daniel Leach and Hirosto Karalavanov. Yeah, that something like that. And the fourth official.
He's from Red Ruth. Just like
yeah. Can I have another laugh?
Down the road from Sam, then. I mean, he could jump in the banana bus and go out with them. The fourth official is Robert Macy Ellis. To be fair, on Tuesday night, I don't really recall saying too much about the ref. So the ref sort of, or thinking and seeing too much. So had a generally a good game, Gavin, would you say?
Yeah, considering the interesting conversations he was having on Saturday, where he sent the I can't remember which ref off, but yeah, no, I think any referee when he goes unnoticed has a good game, and all three officials, considering at times there was a real torrential downpour, so there were a lot of very wet players, very wet ball, very wet field. So I think you let a couple of sort of sliding tackles go based on conditions. I thought it was a very fairly ref game, and for two sides that wanted to play a bit of football. So no problems there. Let's hope Mr. Leach has got the same compliments come Saturday evening.
Yeah, definitely. So, right, over to you then, Gav, with your lineup and predictive formation.
So just on Cardiff, they play also 4-2-3-1. They've only conceded 2 goals all season in Cup and League. So one against Swindon and one on the opening day against, can't remember. My brain's dead. But so I think there'll be a tough nut to break down. So I have gone the biggest deliberation here, which is probably the biggest deliberation for TC, and the team was at right back. So Ashby Delazouche in goal, getting better by the game. Really liking his distribution, really liking his confidence. Just in time for Hazard to come and stake his claim back. So that's going to be an interesting little tussle for the one shirt in a couple of weeks, but he's done really well, and I think he'll go on to have another good game on Saturday, touch wood. Right back, I've gone for Cornell, despite, I think, actually, Matty Saranola probably should just edge it, but I think being away from home, having that bit of extra defensive instinct is probably going to help us. Also, having that long throw for some kind of chaos in the box to give us a 1-0 shithousery grab and run would be nice. So that's why he gets the nod. But I actually think Saranola had his best game for the club on Tuesday night and deserved probably a start. Thanks, Steve, for Peterborough for the goal concede. Wiradu and Mitchell, wrong way round, but Wiradu and Mitchell in the centre of defence, they were both class. But it sounds like it, TC's kind of trying to keep Brendan Galloway to stop ruining himself from himself. From run through a brick wall. You can see now why he spends so long on the sidelines, because the guy's got no off switch, is that he'll play all day, every day, and he'll play with a decent nigger, which will end up turning into something a bit more substantial. So I think he will probably get a bench spot, or he might chance Ross on the bench on Saturday. But I thought the two centre defenders were class. Eamon Benarous back at the left back role. He's been very accomplished for the last 3 games. No reason, I don't think, to drop him. You've then obviously got Joe Edwards to cover that, and Matty Saranola, potentially one of them might miss out, but cover that fullback role because you're going to have 7 on the bench. Midfield, Boateng and Ibrahim. Boateng's been the most consistent player, I think, of the season so far. Took his goal really well on the weekend. Ibrahim was a little bit more measured on Tuesday night, and less rash, less attitude. Whether it was just because it was a cup and didn't mean so much to him, I don't know. But I thought he played well. He certainly is. His forward passing was much more accurate on Tuesday than it was in previous games. So that's good. Caleb Watts retains the 10 shirt. I thought he played really well again in the last 2 games with tenacity and some good through balls. I've gone Tegan Finn to start on the wide right berth. 2 reasons. One, Amichi's didn't play on Tuesday night, and he's been he's been an injury concern. I don't think he says, it was meant to be fatigue when he came off. It was a bit vague from TC on the press conference about why he came off, but it was vague. It was, he had a bit of fatigue, but then there was no real. He tried to shirk the question quite quickly on today's presser. So I think Amici will start on the bench. It's really nice to have Tegan Finn in form, who can come in there and cause as much damage, if not more. Obviously, Talai picks himself in the centre forward position, and I've stayed with Bally Mumba out left. Thought Joe Hatch had a really good game on Tuesday, but Bally's got that touch of class. Hopefully, he will be the wide player we need and won't grab someone by the throat and get sent off after 20 minutes, like another wide left player did last year, wearing the 11 shirt. But who knows at this point? So that's the team I've gone for. I think the bench will be much, much stronger than it has been in recent weeks, which is really good to see. I'd probably pick Seni and Peppel on the bench for 2 different varying reasons. I think you can probably go one of Saranola or Edwards. I'd probably go Saranola, a bit more of attacking option. And then we've got a plethora of midfielders. I don't know if it's too soon for Patterson for the weekend, but I just quite like to see him have 20-minute cameo. But we shall see, I suppose, in terms of that. But that's the side I've gone for. I think it'll be good out of possession. I also think it'll be good in possession. It's a big old pitch in it at the Cardiff City Stadium, so there'll be plenty of opportunity to bomb forward and get some good vertical passing going. Get down the sidelines and hit that red zone, and hope that Talai continues his form of playing against Cardiff and slots.
Yeah, no, thanks for that, Gavin. Andy, your thoughts? Any changes you would make to that?
Only one possible tweak that I could think of is having Mumba back at left back and then pushing Belarus up to the mid, so as a more attacking threat. That would be the only thing there. Really, the rest of it looks pretty much right. Even to the point of Tegan Finn is going to be chomping at the bit to impress the manager, of course. If failing, give him a good half an hour and then sort of bring on either Amici or Aseni.
I think it will. I think there'll be a lot of depending on how the game goes, doesn't it? Whether or not he's going to have to, as you mentioned as well, Gavin. Patterson could, he sees some minutes, the same as Ross, ahead of that Tuesday game. But I think you sort of, certainly with Patterson, you wouldn't risk it unless you really felt there was some concerns and you needed to change it up. I don't think we'll see too much of Mumba back there with that change of his number and stuff, and it sort of always makes you a little bit nervous at times with him there. I do want to. That's what I want to see. Really, is that Belarus, Patterson, and Hatch link up like it was against QPR, maybe on Tuesday night. So
Belarus didn't have a very good game on Saturday, I thought.
He didn't. He scored well on FOTMOB, though, didn't we? As we picked,
he did on FOTMOB. I don't think his first game for us was a lot better. When he was
out of sorts, definitely. There was one where there was no one around him and he miscontrolled the ball. It went out of touch in the first half, which was just terrific. But
so having him further up the field, it works for me because he's a good crosser with the ball. He can sort of threaten in that area as well. And
if you're going to do that, though, you'd probably drop Bally, wouldn't you, and play Sorinola at left back?
Yeah,
having the game he had on Tuesday night.
The only possibility, but Mumba. Has he really done anything? Has he shone? He's had a couple of shots.
I don't think he's had a bad game though, guys. Is he?
No,
He just hasn't.
he's
He
not
hasn't
been
ripped it
terrible.
up. That's the only thing.
He's not the Bally Mumba that was terrorising defences in League One the last time around.
Sophie's just going off to bed. Yeah, Stephen Cooper said, did the team stay up in Wales? I thought they would. It's not the longest of journeys,
3 hours,
and cost-wise, I wouldn't. But
yeah, I think they came back and trained down here, and they're going to. I think Clev said in the presser that they trained. They're training tomorrow morning, then going up.
That's right.
Yeah, it's not the worst of journeys, is it? CDPAFC saying consider Peppel or Aseni to sit instead of Finn. Might add some strength up there to lay it off. Yeah, I think. Don't know really. Gavin, thoughts on that?
I think if you do that, you're going to have to play 4-4-2.
Yeah.
So you'd then be a bit out of kilter in terms of balance because you'd have to play Bally at left midfield, move everyone across one. So you'd either have Caleb Watts could probably play wide right actually, and then sandwich the two guys in the middle, and then have that two up top, one being Talai, the other probably being Peppel to hold it up and for him to run off. I don't think it would be disastrous away from home. We played it out of possession quite a lot, 4-4-2 on Tuesday night. Actually, it worked pretty well. Who knows? Who knows? I think we're quite rigid now through that spine. Certainly since Mitchell has come into the squad, and Weredu I thought was a rock as well. So the spine of the team now is much better.
Yeah,
I can see why that would be said, but I think we're more ruthless and more proactive, getting down the flanks and getting crosses in. And I think you just become a bit too narrow with a 4-4-2 because if you're pushing then Watts out wide, he hasn't got the natural ability to take a man on and cross. Yes, Bally does, but then the game becomes a bit lopsided. So look, who am I? I'm no tactical expert. I'd chase eggs when I was playing, so rather than round balls. I think it's a good shout out of possession. I think if we were going to go there to get a point, I would probably say it'd probably be more of a shout, but I think he's going there to win. So I would say he's probably going to stick with something similar on the screen. Personnel might change. It might be a Michi out wide instead of Finn, but I think he'll stay with a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, no, cool. And Gavin, yes, you were so good in that egg and spoon race at school. So absolutely. So right, moving on to the next slide. So yeah, go on. So formation and lineup, tactical analysis, stand-up performances. Do you want to add anything more to what you?
Yeah, it's both sides 4-2-3-1. Cardiff only conceded 2 goals all season, and thanks to Steve Peterborough with the other side, Swindon in the cup. That's pretty good going. Their standout player we'll see on the next slide at the moment is their keeper, which says a lot. They've got a very good back four, which are pretty strong. I think TC mentioned his presser, but Barry Murphy is going to emulate Pep. He's spent a lot of time in the ranks at Man City, so I think they're going to play a lot of possession, potentially for possession's sake. I don't know football. I've not seen Cardiff play yet, so can't really make too much of a comment on that. But I think it's going to be, they'll have a lot of the ball. I think we'll do more with it than they will. Let's hope that gets us across the line. And our standout performers, I thought Weredu and Mitchell were class at the heart of the defence on Tuesday. And Sarinola, as I've said in sort of previous slide, must be really, really chomping at the bit now. And if he isn't in the starting 11 on Saturday, I can imagine his door being knocked down pretty hard on Monday morning saying, why have I not been included in that starting 11, Gaffer? What more do I need to do?
Yeah. And as you just said, Trot.
Yeah, so interesting stats actually on Nathan Trott. So he's got a 75% save rate at the moment, which is pretty good. 75% high claim percentage, which means that he's obviously coming out and commanding his box in a really positive way. I think we'd have liked a bit more of that off of Ashby de la Zouche in previous games, although I think he's getting there now. 72% clean sheets, which is outstanding for any football at any level, quite frankly. And his FOTMOB rating for season to date, every game is 8.04. So he's a standout player by a long way for Cardiff. It makes them sound like they're a dull sort of 1-0 merchant, but they've won 3-0 and 3-1 so far. So they can clearly score goals as well. Yeah. And for us, I've gone for Brendan to be our standout player. He got a goal in the last game. which I thought he took fabulously, as I said earlier. His defensive positioning and communication with Alex Mitchell looked superb. I think it was very remnants of Maxi and Katic last year. So I think they were every bit as good as those two. And in last game, he won 100% of his tackles, got 3 recoveries and 4 interceptions. You can't get much better than that as a centre half with a goal topping it off. So there are my 2 tips for the weekend. Both defensive players, which probably leaves it to be a 4-4 draw and an absolute calamity of a defensive play from both teams. But that's what I've looked after looking at both reels, picking out some potential players, ones to watch.
Yeah, I think the worry with the keeper, with that claim percentage, or those stats overall, but is how Argyle then decide to adjust, the Souks throw-ins, the balls into the box, the set pieces. Whether or not they all take some different angles on that. I'm sure they would have done a lot of match analysis and seen that from Trot. So we don't have the biggest squad. Actually, echoing back to CD's point, the one thing Peppel that was noticeable with Peppel against Blackpool is when he came on, he managed to win the ball with that centre back against that centre back. So, yes, I can see that point. If Talai is not able to hold that up, then with a strong back four that they've got, we might have to change it. But we shall see what comes of that. Score prediction wise, I never bet against us, not winning, but I thought this one, and Gavin didn't disagree, 1-1 might be a more fair reflection. We got to come away with something. Andy, are you predicting anything different to that?
I'm going to go a draw, but 0-0 draw probably.
Okay,
I think both defenses will cancel each other out.
Yeah, not a bad shout at all. Stephen Cooper said the team could have stayed up there. We surely got the money. If it was further up the line, Steve, then yeah. But I mean, you're talking, just over 2 hours or whatever it is. It's not like it's and not forgetting that staying up. Then it's not about the money situation. But if I was a chairman, I wouldn't be, or CEO, I wouldn't be saying, yeah, let's go and pick them up for a few extra nights. You'd rather be actually back in your own patch where you've got the food situation sorted, the kit room and all that, and your training pitches.
Yeah. You're seeing your family, aren't you? Go home to your family at the evening to relax properly, not be away from home, lying around on some hotel somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how I'd be looking at that, if I'm honest. And just as we come to the end, it was birthday celebration week. It was mine on Monday, just gone, and Gavin's is on Saturday. So unless he wants to receive a divorce letter, he will not be making it on the show on Saturday night because he is staying over in Cardiff with the wife, and they're going to be enjoying a nice evening meal. And no, Gavin won't be here. Yeah, lads, I can just quickly jump in. Right, yeah. So basically, my thoughts are, and then running back out to the table to go. Yeah, I might have been 10 minutes in the toilet. Sorry. So yeah, Gavin's picture's certainly more appropriate. Me with my £450 sunglasses I tried on in a shop in Lanzarote. Madness. But I thought you might find that funny. We are coming really to the end, which is not bad tonight, than we normally do, because there's just so much going on that we can't always talk about it all the time at length. But yes, so obviously the Cardiff City post-match live, you can join us at 8:30. It's a lunchtime kickoff. So the good thing is that I know Carl's going to the game. He will make it back. Tentative whether or not Andy can join us because of other commitments, but I'm hoping we can maybe get on Harvey England and Herbie, and if not, 1 or 2 more as well to join Carl and I on that Saturday night show. And as I always say, please spread the word and give us, if you don't already, make sure you follow us on X, subscribe on YouTube, and all that jazz. So CD saying happy birthday to you both. Yet, thank you very much. Steve not disagreeing with us on the travel thing. GT, think we will nick it on Saturday. Come on, you Greens. Steve's going for a 2-2 draw on that one. I don't actually disagree. I think it will be a lower score. if it's not, I hope it's us that are on the right side of it. But don't disagree with Andy really with our defence now being a bit more shored up. It could be tough for both sides to penetrate the back lines. So look, I'm going to come to final thoughts. So Andy, any last words from you on this Thursday evening?
Just I'm just delighted that we seem to be improving week on, week out. So if we can just carry that into the Cardiff game, who knows? We could even pinch something like that. But I just think realistically, 0-0 is going to be a fair result. For both teams. Cardiff won't lose their goal scored record, and we won't sort of we'll have another clean sheet. That'd be nice.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Gavin. And from you, please.
I think the green shoots, if you like to use a political term, of having a stronger squad. I wasn't all that hopeful Tuesday night to go and play quite an experienced Championship side in Swansea, who yes, they made 8 changes, but quite frankly, a lot of those changes were players that have got good Championship experience. I thought we did very well. Really good to see the back 4 players as well as they did as a unit, with no coincidence that you got Joe and Weirdo and Mitchell in the same back 4, who are all leaders, who are all great communicators, who have all got tons of experience at the level. And then Matty Saranola playing out of position, but playing for an ex-club. That always gives you a bit of a lift. So the back 4 were outstanding. And if he goes for that same back 4 tomorrow, I wouldn't be disappointed, I have to say. But that's a big leap from where we were 2-3 weeks ago, where Victor Paulsen could have probably scored 4 own goals, stuck his finger up to the Devonport end and pulled a Mooney to Zoo Corner and still got in the team for the following Saturday because we had no one else. It's a big step. So we've got some really good players now playing for a couple of positions. Brendan Galloway will not want to lose his place. Cornell Such will not want to lose his place. So I think defensively we're much stronger. We look much better as a defensive unit. Our communication's much better and we're holding that line much clearer. We still probably need one in midfield, but even then, I actually thought the midfield on Tuesday night did very well too. So we've got competition around the park, and having long conversations like we have tonight around Finn or Amici is just another one of like, okay, it's getting there now. So when you have that competition like we've had in the past when we've done really successfully, and I remember in the days of Shuey when we went 101, it was every week predict the Shuey, because let's be candid, you could have picked anyone from a 15, 16, 17 player pool and you wouldn't have been upset, and he constantly tinkered. We're getting back 1 or 2 more to that level of squad where the competition in training is going to be really fierce, and that can only bring out better results on the pitch. So yes, I'm happy. We got much stronger depth. If we go behind, I don't think we won't fold, and I think we'll be tenacious into late doors, and we're looking fitter. So happy. I'm hoping that I leave Cardiff City Stadium happier this year than I did last. Here's to a good weekend in South Wales.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope for the wife's sake that it's a good result.
She's going to have a miserable sod over dinner if it's not, I can tell you.
So a final little plug from me before we sign off. Obviously, yes, the Tales from the Block episodes. So if you want to know what happened behind the scenes last week when we had all those 3 signings come in, then go and check out the episode. I did put a little bit of a conversation dialogue between David Fox, Tom Randall, and does he exist? Well, who knows? He was on he was on Teams in the room with Tom and David in that episode. But yeah, please go check that out. I nearly decided to hit the brakes on it. But I did do the episode, and I will do this week's.
There are too many people with commutes to work that are relying on your vivid imagination / AI to get them through those vital 10 minutes.
It might only be Zoo Corner, but it means a lot.
I know. Ninja Matt as well.
On the way to his shift or morning shift or night shift.
Ninja Matt as well. I think he starts most Monday mornings by getting the kettle on and listening. So you've got 2 loyal followers, mate, and I listen when I go for my walk. So it's all good.
Right.
Yeah, you're right.
You did remember and reference Rooney and Tom's chat over a pint in the pub, which was in whatever episode that was.
Episode 3. I'll tell you. Yeah, that's fine.
There you go.
No
there
problem.
you go.
In the
Brilliant.
4th minute as well, wasn't it, Gav?
I've got a Sam down memory for the Tales from the. I was going to say Crips then. Tales from the Block
Indeed, rugby.
podcast. I don't know why, but I have. Maybe it's the beautiful writing.
It was nearly starting to be Tales from the Crypt with the way our performances were going.
Yeah, you're right there.
For those that remember those late night shows, but
Yes.
look, everybody, thank you for joining us again tonight on this. Sort of the weather. Well, the weather's killed off now, isn't it? Starting to change, but then there might be an Indian summer coming our way. Madness, and we are pitting Christmas out in stores, so it's almost crazy.
Too early.
Absolutely. So anyway, have a good evening, folks. Stephen Cooper, like I said, please message me because I'll try and sort out something with you on Saturday then for the tops. Like I said, email block9podcast@gmail.com so we can sort that.
Oh, Mike, just one more thing.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm Columbo in it now, aren't I? Sean got his shirt, didn't he?
Yes, yeah, he did. Yeah. So the competition winner from the signed Argyle shirt of last season finally got his kit. So he wasn't waiting too long, Gavin, was he?
Only 10 days, mate. It's snail mail here.
Yeah.
So no, he's got it and he's chuffed with it. I forgot to read. We were at the game on Saturday in hospitality when he actually confirmed he got it. I think that was when he did, and I forgot to retweet it out. So yeah, he has got that top, and we will, of course, reminds me actually, Gavin, we will look to do some other giveaways soon as well, seen as the mood's lifting. So let's see how Cardiff goes, and then Tuesday again in the Virtue Cup. So it's a busy period, folks. So enjoy the rest of your evening, and then we'll catch up again on Saturday night.